Welcome back to Absolutely Marvel and DC. My name is Benny. That is Sal. And today we're going to be looking at a trailer for Obi Wan, going through and giving an analysis. I can't talk this morning about every scene in this trailer, and we're going to let you know what our thoughts on all of it is. If you want to join the Absolute Armada, make sure you hit the like button, that subscribe button, and you hit that notification bell. Join this little family that we've got going on over here. All right, Sal. First off, let me turn some lights on, because once I have the trailer up, I have no lights on my screen. I really should get a ring light, just put it behind my thing. I don't know why I don't do that. Hey, here I am.
There we go.
Okay, now that I've hairbanded it back with the headset.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, so 0-0. I'm watching this on Star Wars, the official channel.
Same here.
So nobody trying to pad it with double clipping it or reposting it or none of that, okay?
No, it's not a 20-minute preview that's actually just the trailer 20 times.
Yep. And it's also came out on March 9th, so this is the one I'm watching.
Yep.
I'm specifying, because if you're new to the channel, I have a tendency to get the wrong one on these things.
That's true. We're both using the exact same link today. It's going to be great. Here we go.
Where we open up, obviously, on the desert. You got to have that Tatooine kind of like appearance.
Gotta have Tatooine, otherwise we wouldn't have already been on Tatooine for a whole other show.
Yeah, can we just, I want to pause this right here real quick, because we're back at Tatooine with like a wannabe camel right here, right?
It's one of those Phantom Menace camels you only see in Phantom Menace, yeah.
Right, but what I state here, this is a direct, like, I want to ask this Disney, because I know Disney Plus, you guys are watching this, you're watching our video.
Oh yeah, they're big fans.
You are aware Star Wars has more than this planet, right?
Right?
I get this is the story of Obi-Wan, and fine, that one works. You could have put Boba Fett elsewhere.
Yeah, this is the only place where you should spend time on Tatooine.
And what blows my mind about being back on Tatooine again, and doing it for Boba Fett, and doing it for like some of the Mandalorian and stuff like that, it's, you guys aren't using physical sets, so why is this a thing we keep doing?
And this is 9 years before the Battle of Yavin, so it's what, like 12 years before the Book of Boba Fett? So it's like, no, you don't understand. We're looking at Tatooine at least a decade before we looked at Tatooine in the Boba Fett show. So it's like a whole different Tatooine.
And unless they very specifically state where this fits in the timeline, this is going to confuse a lot of people, because we just saw Boba Fett over here.
Yeah. I hopefully, I feel like no one's going to be confused by the idea that Obi-Wan Kenobi is young. This is 9 years before Battle of Yavin, of course, so it is like in the past. It is like, it's untrod territory. There's not a lot that happens during this period in Star Wars. But I'm excited. Here we go. Obi-Wan's riding one of those friggin' duck camels. Which, great.
So I got it at 0.5 going here, so it is going slow. I'm going to mute this because... If there's any, because in slow-mo, it's very weird to hear this. Yeah. So we just see a lot of camel scenes.
Yep. Obi-Wan's in kind of like what looks
Depression.
like maybe like a bread line or something. Yeah. I assume it's just because Tatooine sucks.
Well, that and his entire life,
then.
as we see at the 22-second marker, his life is literally spying on a young boy.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
I know stating that sentence, it sounded a bit weird, but it's more to emphasize the point of Luke isn't going to be interesting when he's older until he meets Obi-Wan. He's definitely not interesting right now.
No, although he does in this 1 second clip of Luke Skywalker display more personality than he did in one entire season of Boba Fett. So, boom! Roasted! But no, seriously, I'm excited. Well, we'll talk about this more, but, like, the idea of Obi-Wan, like, his life is sad. You know, like, don't forget, the context is, of course, like, he watched all the Jedi die. He knows that Anakin is Darth... Or at least he knows that Anakin was bad and called himself Darth Vader, and that he thought he killed him. Remember, he's like, I murdered my best friend, and then I left. And I came here to watch his son grow up.
But I think this is the sad part. This is what they're kind of getting across with the bread line. The whole idea of the opening of this trailer was to show the desolation and the isolation that Obi-Wan is feeling.
Totally.
I think that was the whole point of these 20 seconds, to be like, he is alone, and he's watching somebody. He's not raising Luke.
No.
He's watching Luke be raised.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just a lonely existence.
It is, yeah. Well, his life is basically just protecting this kid on this rock that no one's going to visit until like 15 years from then.
Right.
After which point, everyone will be coming to this planet. But
It becomes a hotspot again.
Exactly. But he seems like that's like one of the only bright spots in his life. The rest of the time, it's like, I mean, don't forget, Jedi are sexless eunuchs who don't like experience feelings. True. So he's like, I'm like 50 and I've never kissed a girl, and I was like a religious monk that was in charge of the galaxy for a little while, and then they all died. Now I'm here. And it's my fault too.
Right, right. Because I could have prevented this. I could have stopped all of this.
If I was a better Jedi, if I
had the higher ground.
I had the high ground. Why didn't I chop his head off instead of just his arms and legs? So anyway, then we get to the 40-second mark where there's actually some neat stuff. We got some
before we get to 42nd, I wanted to ask you, what ship is this? Because you're a little bit better.
I have no idea. I assume it's an Inquisitor ship. I mean, I don't pay attention to what the expanded universe is anymore. I have no idea. Well, I know the baseline. Like, I know what a TIE interceptor is. I do not know what this thing is.
Going back to the Inquisitor, right? The Inquisitor's seen at 45, 47 time frame.
Yeah.
This is my problem with what they did with the expanded universe. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
This is my actual issue. I'm gonna take a little tangent here to talk about this.
Please, yeah.
I'm fine with them shutting down the expanded universe.
Right.
I feel personally, as a fan who did read some of that stuff, didn't read all of it, watched Star Wars, was a Star Wars fan, and is, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The expanded universe got too out of control because George Lucas notoriously stated none of that is considered canon as far as he's concerned.
Yeah.
It was more LucasArts and Lucasfilm that would be like, well, this is canon, and they kind of headlined all of that.
Yes.
So because of that, it got a little out of control. So I was fine with Disney kind of shutting all that down because it was a lot of like ancillary reading. And
yeah. Well, it's a lot of work.
Yeah. And I didn't mind it being legend. Like, okay, this is pre-Disney Star Wars. Here's post. But now they're just pulling in all the expanded universe stuff. They're reusing all that stuff.
Yeah, well,
now I have a problem with it
people.
Why? What's that?
They've proven they're uncreative and they don't know what to do. And when they make up something new, people go, I hate that. And they're like, fine, here's something that came out 45 years ago. And they're like, I don't like that either because it's not exactly what it is. Like, here's Thrawn, you're welcome. And they're like, that's kind of Thrawn, I guess. But like, he's not doing the Thrawn stuff.
That's kind of Boba Fett. That's kind
of...
Right.
That's kind of the things I remember from the expanded universe, but not really. They're like, I don't understand. But the Inquisitor, I don't really remember much about the Inquisitors from the expanded universe, but I do remember them being heavy in the animated series that have been in the post-Disney acquisition periods. Clone Wars, Rebels. This guy in particular at the 45-second mark, he's played by Lucius Malfoy, and people are mad that it's not. Because he's like fatter or rounder or not as thin.
I feel like it looks like they're just hiding whoever this actor's hair is inside of a bulging bald cap. That's all this is.
Yeah, that's why his head is like this. Like he looks like a Megamind. Yeah, no, I don't know. Again, the Inquisitor stuff. I was like,
I don't know why they reused any. Like it's like Cad Bane. Like just don't use the extended universe if we're not going to use the extended universe.
Cad Bane was created in the post-Disney acquisition. He did not exist.
Oh, yes. He was Rebels, wasn't he? Rebels and Clone Wars?
Yeah. Rebels and Clone Wars. Yeah, no. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, they're like, let's
but
use...
Thrawn is a great example. Yeah.
Is an example, you're going to see... I mean, any use of Boba Fett is going to be compared to his previous interactions. We're going to see in our lifetime... I mean, I know that Black Sun, which is a criminal organization that came from Shadows of the Empire. That's canon again. I think Shizor was referenced.
There's talks. I don't know how true this is that they're going to canonize Starkiller from the Unleashed series.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like, why? Like, right. Anyway, we're on that tangent. So anyway,
I do like those games, or at least the first game. Yeah.
The second game is a little weird. Oh, you're the clone of him.
It's too much. It's too much. The first game was fire though. So. All right, then we got like the ship. I like seeing Obi-Wan. It's interesting because I just assumed, right? Because the movie told me Obi-Wan, like, he leaves the Jedi, he goes to Tatooine, and he lives in a hut for 20 years, right? That's what we assume. Now we're seeing him on, like, transport ships with other refugees, and I'm like, what's he doing with all these people?
I also
assume-
want to
Yeah.
know if you look at the scene at 51 seconds where he's like literally the perfect scene of him with all these people.
Yeah.
They're all like ragged. They're refugees, and he's like, "My beard is clean cut. I took care of
yeah.
my hair. I
think
bathed, you heathens."
the reason why I think that's the case is because I think this is a transport ship, like, from, like, this is him arriving on Tatooine.
Yeah.
Like, this is
Okay.
him being taken to the city, like, from the spaceport. Although, I feel like spaceports land directly in the Moses, so I don't know why this is a thing. But it seems like this is, maybe it's a workhouse, maybe it's a moisture thing, I don't know.
Right.
But it looks like it's a ferry that takes people, like, from, like, haha, you've arrived, welcome to Tatooine, to, okay, now here's your miserable existence. You're gonna farm moisture for the rest of your life. It's gonna be hard, because it's a planet that has no moisture on it.
Right. So we have that scene, and then we cut to the next major scene, more of what is obviously the Inquisitors and stuff like
Yes.
that working towards their goal.
Yep.
So that guy right there, I recognize the back of his head. Do we see him in front in this trailer?
I don't know. I don't remember him. Yeah, I don't remember him. But
Okay.
it's a cool looking design. Also, black female lead as an Inquisitor. I don't know who that actor is, but I've heard some rumblings on the internet about it. I can't imagine there being any complaints about it. Who cares?
Yeah.
But it's just interesting to see, like, hey, cool, like, another character. Let's go. Like, another actor with, like, a face that's not like a makeup. Let's
Yeah.
go.
No, I agree with you on that one. Yeah.
Also, hey, real stormtroopers. I like seeing real stormtroopers. They're really exciting.
oh yeah, going back far enough. And this
yeah.
then at 57, that's Ben, right? Uncle Ben.
Yeah, that's Owen.
Owen. My bad.
Yeah,
Why did
Uncle
I call him
Owen.
Ben.
Because
Owen.
Uncle Ben.
Yeah, just kind of.
Because it's pop culture uncle. And he dies. By the way, this actor who they picked like 20 years ago, fire. Great idea. It's amazing the casting choices that like were made for Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones in this case. And they were like, yeah, that still works. Like this
Let's
dude,
just grab those guys so it all lines up perfectly.
yeah, and he still kind of looks like Uncle Owen. Like it'll work. It's
Yeah.
it's
Well, now he's
incredible.
gained a few pounds. It's been a few
Yeah.
years, so it's kind of
Yeah.
lining up a little bit better with Uncle Owen.
That being said, it's 9 years before he dies, so he's got to put on some serious sand miles because he still looks okay, and Uncle Owen looks pretty rough. Anyway, also it looks like there's a hanging in town. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's
Well,
the
I mean,
Inquisitors are there and
Obi-Wan
they're like,
goes from Ian McGregor to Alec Guinness in
Yeah.
9 years, so
yeah, that's true. 9 years.
There's a lot that happens in that time span,
Right?
apparently.
Maybe
to
they
the
all
entire-
get hit by Force lightning because apparently Force lightning will make you look really old. I'm speculating here. I assume that it's the Inquisitor comes to Tatooine. There's a rumor that there's a Jedi there, and they're looking for Jedi.
Yeah.
And they're like, "I'll kill people. I'll kill everybody in a robe until
I'm
I find a Jedi."
assuming Obi-Wan does something in the intro that brings attention to him, is what
Totally.
I think.
Yeah.
And then what I think, based on what I'm seeing in this trailer, is that Owen then doesn't know Obi-Wan's there.
Oh,
So hears that they're looking for a Jedi, assumes it's the child Luke.
Yeah, I think in Episode 3 we see, well, Obi-Wan hand delivers baby Luke to Owen. It could be that he's like, yeah, he leaves, and he's just like, okay, and then I assume he got in a ship and left. You mean he moved next door?
Yeah, what if Owen, like, maybe the plot is like Owen becomes aware that Obi-Wan is there this whole time.
That'd be kind of fun. And he does know it because, of course, Luke asks about Ben Kenobi, and he says, oh, that's just a crazy old man who lives out beyond the Dune Sea. So, yeah.
Right, but see, and that's one of those problems, because when Star Wars 4 came out and was just Star Wars, that was fine, because it's just the crazy old man that happens to be overwatching Luke. But then
Yeah.
in 3, we see him handing the child, so you're like, no, he knows him. That's not...
Yeah, he knows him personally. Hell, in the original script, he was his brother. Obi-Wan and Owen were brothers. So, yeah, now, not so much. Now, Anakin and Owen are brothers. Anyway. So, it looks like there's a lot of time being spent here. Thankfully, at the 106 mark, this isn't Tatooine. We're on another planet. Hey!
Yeah, we're looking at a city, which is probably just kind of the fallout of Order 66, is what I'm assuming this is.
Totally.
We've got all the Jedis, but as we've seen with other extended media, like Caleb, who's rumored to possibly be in this in some form.
Oh. Well, listen, BD1 is in it.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, they might be hunting down those, because like we were always assumed Order 66 killed all of them, but Obi-Wan.
Of course.
But now we know
of course
Caleb's around, Kanan and Ezra around at this point.
Yeah, that's right.
They should be floating around. Obi-Wan's floating around. So who else is floating around that they're hunting down at this point? You know,
what's her name? His apprentice.
Oh, Ahsoka.
She's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like Order 66 is the worst order given by the Emperor. Like, yeah, we killed a bunch of, we actually just thinned the herd. We killed all the useless Jedis that could be killed by clones.
Yeah, we killed the ones in the council, the younglings. We got everyone that couldn't fight back.
Right, way to go. Oh, we also shot all of the... Yeah, no. We killed Plo Koon. Great.
Samuel L. Jackson died. Yeah.
Ki-Adi Mundi, no longer alive. Yeah. Samuel L. Jackson at least got killed by the Emperor. Anyway, so yeah, space. I'm assuming it's going to be like Corellia or Nar Shaddaa, probably.
Yeah, because they only use 4 planets in anything Disney makes with this. So
listen, with Obi-Wan Kenobi, the way I look at it, this is a new Star Wars movie. Like, you're looking at Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is an important show. You know, you could literally not watch skip. You could skip Boba Fett.
No, you literally can. I mean, Mando 1 and 2 felt like a show because they were doing it episodically.
Yes.
Boba Fett had some really weird decisions in the way it did everything.
Yep.
This looks like, this is like the unheard of sequel. And here's the guy. Here's the face of this guy. I've seen him in some kind of extra media, or at least someone of his race. 116.
Oh, okay, 116.
Yeah. I've seen someone of his race or that outfit in something else at extended media.
Oh, okay. Because we saw, what's it? Oh, yeah, there you go. You're absolutely right. There he is. I have no idea who that guy is.
And more stormtroopers.
Yep. Hey, we finally also get to see the Inquisitor lightsaber that spins
I like
in
that.
live action, which is fun. Cool. Yeah, this has got to be Nar Shaddaa. That's awesome. Hooray.
Then we see the Inquisitor finding someone.
Yeah, from the back, it could be Owen. And she's like gonna interrogate him, and he's like, "That's why I don't talk to Obi-Wan anymore."
Yeah, that could be. We have our gunfight with nondescript characters at a battle in green birds.
Yep. Oh yeah, those could be convorees.
Like a little Easter egg for you.
Yeah. I don't like a lot of the expanded universe post Disney, but convorees are fun. They're just cute. They're these cute little stupid green birds. Anyway.
And that's it. And then we get a shot of Obi-Wan's face. Now, I love the comment that Ewan McGregor made about this, where he's like, I've been on this project for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
It has been so annoying to have to deny it over and over and over.
Yeah. I'd be like, well, I hope they, I remember him saying something to the effect of I'm starting to sound pretty pathetic, where I'm like, well, I hope they call me I'm an out of work actor. Like, no, I've been working on this show. They don't need to call me. But yeah.
That's everything in it. I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
This looks really good. I will say I was excited about Boba Fett till it came out, so I'm kind of curious what's going to happen with this. But I think the difference here is this. Yeah. Mando introduced a character we never really heard of, but everyone wanted to know about the Mandalorians.
Right.
That was like one of those things where you're like, I really want to know more, because when it came to Mandalorians, we got a little bit of Mandalorian lore. We got Sabine over in Rebels, and we really didn't get much else outside of Boba Fett, right? That's all we really got. So that for Mando, it was a great thing to kind of elaborate on that. And I think part of what killed Boba Fett was they established Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian at all. Not even close.
No.
So then you go to Boba Fett, and it was like they didn't quite know what they were doing, and they were trying to make a story that wasn't really that. I don't know anyone that was like, man, I wonder how Boba Fett got out of the Sarlacc pit and then survived. No one said that. No one had that question.
We've seen it 3 times. In the expanded universe's history. See, the way I look at it, Mandalorian worked so well because Mandalorian is the Boba Fett show.
Right.
Mandalorian is the show everyone thought would be awesome if it was about Boba Fett, right? 'Cause it's a Mandalorian warrior who's going on bounty hunting, and it's an episodic story where we watch him be a badass every episode. And they did that, and they did it successfully, and they made it not Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And then they made a redundant Boba Fett show. And it's like, you don't need to do that. We already have this guy. No one cares about real Boba Fett anymore. And
it's almost like they knew that, because midway through they're like, and here's Mando.
Right. Yeah, no. I mean, I know for a fact they made that show pretty much in one shot. They weren't making them and waiting for fan reaction and then tailoring the show. But I feel like somebody got the memo at some point, 2/3 of the way through that show, and went, we need to put the Mandalorian in this show.
Yeah.
Like, I'm almost convinced. We now know that, like, that was planned because Mando plays a crucial role in the Boba Fett show. Yeah. But, like, I was pretty convinced that one episode, the first episode with Mandalorian in the Boba Fett show,
where he's trying to fix his bike or car or spaceship.
I thought that was just the first episode of the Mandalorian season 3, and they went, just put it in here, and we'll reshoot another one. Like, I was like, no, there's no way. And then okay, you just knew Boba Fett was so uninteresting, you had to put Mandalorian in here.
Yeah.
But this is where I'm like, yay, but I care about Obi-Wan. I want to know what's going on with him.
And well, I was going to say, that's what I was getting to. The Obi-Wan story is interesting, too, because we've all joked that he just sat there for 20 years.
Right, exactly.
But I think no one believed that to be true. We all believed something had to have happened from when he landed to when he became an old man and was like, here's the lightsaber.
Yeah, I'm going to die. Let's go.
Yeah. So this is another segment that is interesting, and I feel like going forward, this is really what Star Wars needs to do. Because the best, look, I'm not someone who's on the board at the new trilogy, and I'm also not I'm not on board with it, and I'm not against it. For me, the new trilogy was something that I was like, all right, you used a lot of cool Star Wars stuff, and I don't like what you did with some of it, but whatever.
Yep. Same.
But Rogue One I found really good.
Yeah.
Mandalorian's really good.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan looks very promising. Rebels has been good. Clone Wars has been good. What Disney really needs to do is elaborate on the stuff that we're missing. Because that is what we've been enjoying.
Yeah.
While the new trilogy, where they tried to establish a whole new set of lore, and the Boba Fett thing, where they kind of tried to establish a whole new set, they just literally look up on a wiki and see, oh, here's my fanfic for what happened during this period, and you can go, oh, that's a period people are wondering about.
Right. Right. Yeah. The other problem, of course, is just like the movies need to be Campbellian myths that have like 3-act structures and don't challenge anything. Like they need to be, because the movies are supposed to be like fairy tales that everyone can enjoy. That's why Star Wars appeals to so many people. The 3 movies, which have diminishing returns for audience or participation, they were like stage plays. They were fantasy. And it was just watch the princess be saved by the hero, that kind of thing. That's why everybody liked Star Wars earlier. But the expanded universe, that was for like the hardcore nerds who were like, yeah, but how does the internal economic structure work? And they're like, here you go.
What's this droid in this ship? I mean, Harrison Ford notoriously would shoot down any nerd that asked him any question.
He's like, I don't care about that, and I don't know, and I never will. Please leave me alone. That's what the movies need to be. The movies need to be like the blank canvas that you create more Star Wars on. Like, here's some fun stuff. Watch the very basic, one-dimensional, like fantasy story.
It's how Destiny used to do its campaigns. Destiny would come out with a Halo-level campaign. We get in there, we fight a big bad, and it's over. But if you deep dived into the Destiny lore, it got way more interesting, but you didn't need to.
Right, and that's what the shows and the cartoons can do. The shows and the cartoons are for, like, that hardcore Star Wars fan, because everyone goes to the movies, more or less, right? And it's like, that's the idea. Star Wars needs to be like everybody. And then, if you're like, I love Star Wars, I want more of it, well, here are all the shows for those people who ask. But for everybody else, they're like, that's enough Star Wars for me. I saw the movie. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they need to do.
I mean, just to end our discussion on the new Star Wars, I mean, I don't think the idea behind what they did in 8 was bad. I think the problem with 8 is doing it as 8. You can't make this episode 8 of a 9-episode arc and go, everything from all of that didn't matter. Like,
right. No, that was just, I think, for good or ill, it was not the way to go.
No, I mean, if you made it part 1 of a new 3-part trilogy that didn't reference the Skywalker saga, would have been a great idea.
Well, as I understand it, they were going to give him another trilogy, but I think that's out the window now. But yeah, I'm hyped for Obi-Wan. It looks nice. I mean, Ewan McGregor's a great actor, and
I've also decided he never ages.
Right?
Like, looking at this last scene here, this like.
That one shot.
If you go to 130, the last shot, how old is he?
I don't know. I assume he's 50.
50. Okay, he's still young enough that you're like, yeah, he's not. I thought he was in his 60s, and I'm like, that dude's just never gonna age,
right? No, just like every Hollywood actor.
He's got Keanu Reeves syndrome.
They'll look normal, like they'll look like themselves until they hit like 70, and then boom, they will look 105.
Oh yeah, it was Christopher Lloyd. I just saw him in a new teaser from Ryan Reynolds for the new movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, he really aged like in 2 years because
Yeah.
he looked
Right? Because I saw him at a convention like 2 years ago, and he looked fine.
Yeah. But anyway, that is our analysis of the trailer for Obi-Wan. What do you guys think? Are you excited for it? Down below, let us know what your thoughts are on this. Are you excited for it? Are you expecting a Boba Fett or a Mandalorian? What are you looking forward to?
I like that
Benny.
measurement.
You like that measurement?
Yeah.
I'm Benny, that is Sal, and we will see you in the next video next week right here. Don't forget, we got Moon Knight coming out, we got Morbius coming out. I can't believe I'm saying that. We got Morbius coming out, and we got various other things we're going to be talking about, hyping about, and talking about what's going on behind the scenes. Join us in this armada today.